Will not be taken up tomorrow. I think for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think there was some procedural issues that were raised earlier in the date to meet. And secondly, although I'd have to say that the caucus, I thought, went very well. People expressed concerns, but on the other hand, as you could probably hear from the round of applause at the end, I think there was an appreciation for the general consensus of the bill. But I think that there are certain things that we have to clear up. And so because of that, I think it's important that with a bill of this magnitude that we try to get it right, or as close as right the first time. And so I'd rather do that than rush it or try to rush it through tomorrow. So it will not be taken up tomorrow, but it will be taken up soon.
What are the issues that need to be addressed? What changes do you have to make to it?
Well, I think there is some, some general cleanup stuff relative to language, the meaning of certain phrases, and things of that sort. And again, and the other issue is the procedural stuff that we have to clear up.
Do you expect to take this up next week?
I won't be any later, obviously, than next week, because we're going to try to get this, obviously, get it done by if not, very close to July 1st.
Is June 30th to finish this and get it on the governor's desk still a reasonable deadline?
I think it, believe it or not, I think it will be. I think if there is a will on behalf of us and the Senate, which I think there is, I think that hopefully that is still a good, still a possibility.
Just so I understand you, it's unusual for you to yank a bill that's scheduled for debate. You're saying you're doing that because it's such an important thing to get right, and you want to have time to sort of scrub through it one more time, listen to the members' concerns, and put that.
Yeah, I think there was some, folks had talked about certain issues in the legislation in terms of definition, explanation, and definitions, and I shouldn't say just in there, even before, even the chair had raised some questions in terms of making clarification on certain things. I think that plus the procedural issue makes it necessary for us to delay it from tomorrow.
How would you assess the overall bill that came out of the committee today?
I thought the overall bill was terrific. I think if you take a look at the bill as a whole, I thought it was a good bill. I think for the most part, that was the general feeling of the subject, of the folks. Look, as I stated earlier, this is a subject matter where it's very difficult to get unanimous approval and high ratings from everybody. A lot of people expressed issues with certain sections, which we fully expected. If you were to go on the street right now, you're probably going to hear the same type of thing. But when you take a look in terms of a ballot question and where we've come today through the hard work of the chair, I think we're in a much better place. I look at my role as speaker is to take that ballot question, to make sure that it's enforced in the sense that to make sure that marijuana is legal as requested or as voted on by the voters, but on the same token to make sure that there are proper rules and regulations, so local cities and towns will know, what their responsibilities are.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And so on and so forth. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the compound tax issue, is that the